Hey y'all, so I just wanted to come on and share my thoughts on some of my healing methods. I use a 3 to 4 step healing method, and this is something that, fortunately, I've been able to overcome and heal a lot of things in my life, period. So I just got this book. I know you probably see it all over TikTok. I know you probably see it all over TikTok, but this book is really, really good. This is not for people who still in their lower vibrational, that's toxic, don't want to heal, don't want to do the work, always want to be a victim, never the victor, always the woe is me type of person, always, just in that negative low vibrational energy. This is not for you, okay? I'm going to say it. This is not for you because you're not ready to change yet. Okay, this is for people who sick and tired of being sick and tired, who sick and tired of going through triggers after triggers after triggers and being unhealed, and they want to get on that road to being healed. You know what I'm saying? They wanna, close out these generational curses and cycles in their life that they just been repetitively repeating, whether it's throughout this life or a lifetime after lifetime. It's passed down from your mama, your daddy, your grandmama, and them. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just wanna get it together. We want to be healed. We want to be whole. So this book right here is really, really good. It definitely have a lot of things like this in it. Which I think is really, really good because it really makes you reflect and think about these things that you've most likely been going through since a child. Some people it's teenage years, some people it's their adult years, but a lot of people, a lot of our traumas and triggers and things of that nature started in childhood. Just like when you were, like for boy childs, which your mama told you when you was a little boy, boys don't cry. Stop crying. What you crying for? Man up. And it's like, no, allow your son and your daughters to cry, to be vulnerable, to express how they feel. Because if not, you're going to raise an insensitive ass jerk. That's what you're going to do. You're going to raise somebody that does not know how to deal with their emotions. So what they're going to do, they're going to lash out in different ways. It could be violence, it could be drugs, it could be sex. It could be different things. They're going to lash out because they don't know how to deal with those emotions. They don't know how to internalize it. They don't know how to process them because you told them that feeling their emotions was weak. It was not of men. It was not of a woman. You understand what I'm saying? So you got to be real mindful of what you say to your kids because they are sponges and they will soak up anything, and that's where the traumas will begin in childhood. So be very mindful. Another step I like to use is my gratitude book. Okay, this right here, I've had a lot of different gratitude books, but this right here is the best one because this one is similar to the shadow work book because this one as well do have prompts kind of like this. You know what I'm saying? And then it'll go into something, they're pretty much similar, and it really gets my mind, really going of what I'm thankful for and all these other different things. And it keeps me on track. It holds me accountable, and I like to be able to, after some time, to go back and read. So I give myself probably like a couple of weeks. I'll go back and I'll read it and see, if my feelings are indifferent. What I felt then is the same as how I feel now reading it. And I like to read it out loud. Like, not in my head, but read it out loud. It makes it a little bit more real. And it gives you a little bit more depth of the situation. Another thing I like to do is I like to use either a 3 or a 5 spiral book. And if I'm doing my 4th step, then I would have I would do about either 1 or 2. It just kind of depends. Like, I would do like a 3 subject book. And sometimes I have done 1 subject books, but I like to write, so my book kind of runs out pretty quick. So I like to do a 3 subject book. So I have a 5 subject because I'm combining not only my thoughts but my manifestations, because your thoughts are manifestations. But I like to have a book of thoughts. So these are like intrusive thoughts that comes to your mind, or you may have a question about something, or just something like that, like a thought process, and you want to write it down really quick. But if I'm at work, unfortunately I cannot have this big book on the floor with me, so I have to write it in my notes, and then when I go on my break, then I would transfer from my notes to my book. And like I said, if I'm doing a manifestation book, that'll be one color. And if I'm doing a book of thoughts, that's a different color. So I always go for my different colors, depending on what I'm doing at that moment. And, your manifestations are your manifestations. You know what I'm saying? And you can always incorporate all of this all into one. Healing. How can, healing, if you have a fear of, success, you're manifesting success, but you have a fear of it. How can you overcome that? What can you do? What type of shadow work can you do that's going to overcome that? And then you're grateful for, these things and such and such and such and such. So, this is just my little steps that I like to use, that I've found very, very important and very helpful in healing. A lot of people, especially for us females, we carry big ass bags anyway. So what's 3 little books that you can carry around that's going to help you if you're taking a train, if you're in an Uber or something like that. If you're riding with a friend, you can pull out your book, you can jot things down. How are you feeling? Take note of what's going on surrounding you. If you're at work and people are pressing your buttons, okay, they're trying to take you from 1 to 5,000, pull yourself back, you know what I'm saying? Start saying your gratitudes, calm yourself down, write how you feel. Right? Write how you feel. What happened in the situation? How did it make you feel? What was your thought process? Could you have done anything that could have changed the situation? Were you the problem in the situation? You understand what I'm saying? Really get down to the nitty gritty. And one thing I like to do as well is when I do my manifestation and my thoughts, I like to give it probably some time, a couple of weeks, a month or so, before I go back and read it out loud to myself, to see, like I said, if my feelings are still the same, if I sounded foolish, where's my accountability at in that situation? Am I being the victim? You know what I'm saying? Am I putting myself in a victim mentality? Am I being a narcissist or showing traits of narcissism or manipulation, or what's going on with me and my energy that I can change, so the next time this situation happens, I know how to move with it because I know, what it is. Especially if you're very defensive. Why are you so defensive? What happened to you in your life that triggered this defensive energy? You know what I'm saying? And how can you overcome this? I've been told that I was defensive. I've been told that I was very, what's that other word? I forgot the other word. But I've been told a lot of little things. And I've come to terms that, I would throw it back on people when they be like, oh, you're so defensive. And I would be like, well, that's the energy you giving me, so that's how I'm going to give you, and stuff like that. So, just pulling myself back, and from people that actually care, that tells me that I am defensive or whatever the situation may be, I always like to pull myself back and say, am I naturally just being defensive, or are they giving me a reason to be defensive? Because I could be pretty aggressive. So yeah, that's just that. So once you learn these little things about you, and once you start to connect your dots, you're able to overcome anything in this world. Let me tell you something. I've been through some shit that over the course of years, I've been able to sit back and laugh at it and be like, damn, I can't believe I allow myself to go through that. I can't believe I allow myself to be in that situation. What the hell was I thinking? What was I thinking? I should have known better. I should have done better. And I'm able to now, truly laugh at it because I've overcame it. I've healed from that. And now that I've learned my lesson, I can now go on to my next lesson, because it's I've recognized it, I've shined the light on it, I worked on it, I've got it done, and now I'm comfortable with myself to the point where I can look back at the things that happened to me and make light of it, and that's all that we want. We just want to be happy, okay? So yeah, y'all, this was just Yeah.